Folks, time has come and passed, actually, so I'd like to call the October 18th, 2018 meeting of the County Commissioners to order. And if we would, please, would you join me in a moment of silence? Thank you. Please join me now in the pledge to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And now our public comment. We have our regular guest, Mr. Wisnick from back at the Gap.
Good morning, Commissioners. David Weissnick, 40 Indian Gap, giving you back at the Gap update. As of the 16th of October, which the new fiscal year or training year started for the Gap, we've already had over 7,000 troops train on the Gap. Coming up, we have week of the 22nd through the 22nd through the 28th, we'll have over 3,200 troops on the Gap. Week of the 29th through the 4th of November, we'll have over 6,700 troops on the Gap. And follow that, November 5th through the 11th, we'll have over 2,100 troops on the Gap. So starting off with a busy year. Sally, we will be disturbing your silence as our neighbor on the 19th through the 20th of October with a field artillery live fire exercise, and then we will make rumbling sounds again on the 28th through the 1st of October.
I heard the jets last weekend. They were cool.
With that, we have a very busy airspace with the Bowling air-to-ground bombing range being worked several times a week, and we also, as I always say, Muir Army Airfield is the second busiest heliport in the United States Army. Over 1,200 flights a month go out of there. So we have a very active airspace, and we appreciate everybody's patronage for the noise we make. And it's one of the big drivers in our conservation use buffer program is to try to preserve the beautiful wildlands north of the Blue Mountain and keep it so we don't have a lot of extra neighbors up there that we're bothering. So we have benefits all the way around. Of note, this past Monday was our 2-year anniversary of opening up the USO on post. That's Liberty USO. That's USO which covers Pennsylvania and New Jersey. We've had, since its opening, 85,000 military members and their families utilize that facility. Absolutely incredible young lady. I brought her to board meeting. Jenna Price is the only paid employee of the USO there. She runs and coordinates everything. A huge staff of volunteers. We put the call out in these meetings for volunteers to the citizens of Lebanon County and the local area. They have responded. We have a tremendous group of volunteers that come in there and man it, help out with anything they're asked to do. It's a place of respite for troops that are training there in their busy times, stressful times. They can always come to the USO and get a nice word or two, something nice to eat, a place to sit down and kick back in a recliner. We've got big screen TVs with the younger crowd, the millennials. They like to play their video games. That includes soldiers. And they sit there and rest and play video games, and it's a good thing. Another thing they do, having a military family, raised one. Our families serve also. Liberty USO has taken the step further. They've done a lot of family things. One thing of note that they do at the start of the school year every year is backpacks for kids going back to school. The military has people of all social and, or I should really say economic stratas, from the very junior people that don't make a lot of money to more senior people that do, but mainly to those junior ones. They come and get donated backpacks for the kids full of school supplies. Very popular thing with our young working soldiers to come in there and get that. So we certainly appreciate that. I think I covered our 7th annual March of the Fallen. That kicked off very well thanks to all the volunteers and folks that made that happen. The date for it to be next year, so you commissioners can get this on your calendar, is the same day, the 28th of September. And Jamie is bigger runner and walker as you are. I'll go with you, so we'll do at least 14 miles. Yeah, we'll rock. Okay, so pending any of your questions, that's all I have for the county commissioners today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dick. Thank you very much. All right, we see no other public, so there must not be any public comment. We can assume that, so.
I think you have a battery going dead on the microphones. I don't know which one, but that's indicative of a.
It usually bumps when that happens. It's a
Oh.
buzz.
I move mine over, up and down, and it's not changing. I don't know, yours is directed up. Did you wiggle yours a little?
The battery's low, the light's flashing like that. Instead of
Is it flashing?
Is it flashing?
Red thing at the bottom.
I don't know where.
up here.
Oh, at the top. No, it's not. Mine is not.
I don't think it's bad.
Is that when, okay, mine is
I
good.
can't hear it because it keeps going.
Okay, I turned mine off and it's still buzzing, so it's not mine.
Well, I don't hear it.
I don't either.
I do.
Uh,
I have my hearing aids and I hear it
Well, the
actually.
heater.
No, it's,
All right, could I can't control the meeting now. Could I have a motion to have the microphones repaired?
so moved.
Motion to approve the minutes, please.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Minutes are approved, and we have our treasurer's report.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
We had receipts on October the 16th and 17th of $3,392,893.89. That brought us to a cash of $4,243,111.25. Our expenditures this week were $4,104,690.18. Our undistributed tax claim is $16,020.29. So that left us a cash balance of $122,400.78.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Have a motion and a second to approve the treasurer's report. Are there any questions or comments before the vote? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting the treasurer's report as presented indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Report is approved. Thank you. Morning, ladies.
Morning.
Morning.
Michelle Idris, Director of Human Resources. Leanne Shank, Human Resources Assistant. Under Personnel Transactions, Resignations, and Terminations, William Harris, Booking Agent, resignation, effective November 25th. Angela Houck, Docket Specialist, termination, effective October 12th. Elizabeth Ramsey, Conference Officer / Docket Supervisor, retirement, effective December 29th. Haley Rhodes, Casual Call Developmental Assistant, removal, effective October 18th. Sarah Reed, Casual Call Developmental Assistant, removal, effective October 18th. And Susan Yoakum, Casual Call Developmental Assistant, removal, effective October 18th.
I'll make a motion to approve the resignations and terminations with a special note that Elizabeth Ramsey has served the county well for 30 years with her retirement, so wish her well.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to accept the resignations and terminations as presented. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Under FMLA leaves of absence, Joellen Son from voter registration, 3 months of intermittent FMLA, effective September 28th with return of December 28th. Jody Yingst, MDJ Garber, 12 days of FMLA, effective October 25th through November 9th. And Carl Stump from assessment, 20 days of family FMLA, effective December 3rd through December 31st.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to accept the leaves of absence as read. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Under changes of status, transfers, and promotions, I have a motion to approve President Judge Towalk's recommendation to reclassify one of the current court reporter positions in the courts department from 35 hours per week to 40 hours per week, effective October 22nd.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second for that change of hours in the judge's chambers. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Accordingly, Allegra Peronti, court reporter, moving from 35 hours per week to 40 hours per week, with her biweekly changing due to the hour change to $1,596.09 biweekly, effective October 22nd. And Amber Ritter, promotion from full-time developmental assistant second shift at Renova to full-time developmental program assistant second shift at Renova to the rate of $11.99 per hour, effective October 22nd.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to accept those changes of status. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Under other transactions, Community Action Partnerships would like to rehire Diane McKinney as a part-time utility officer at the rate of $10.33 per hour, effective October 22nd. Planning would like to rehire Christopher Lizzie as Building Code Administrator 2 at the rate of $1,806.63 biweekly, effective October 22nd. And the LCCF Prison would like to hire Judith Urachek as a general clerk C at the rate of $723.43 biweekly, effective October 22nd. And the prison would like to hire the following full-time correctional officer trainees, all at the rate of $13 per hour, all effective October 22nd. And that is George L. Cruz Rosario, Zachary Laser, Max Mott, Robert Knoll, and David Weber. And the prison would like to hire the following casual part-time female correctional officer trainees at the rate of $13 per hour, all effective October 22nd, and that is Robin Meyer and Jessica Smith.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second to take care of those other transactions. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Moving on to salary board, motion to approve all transactions previously read plus the following. Matthew Dobson, salary increase as a law clerk in the courts department. He's moving to the rate of $1,520.84, effective October 8th, due to passing the bar.
Second the motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the salary board changes. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Under mandated conference seminars, I have Jessica McTavish, Thomas Smith, and Richard Showers from Children and Youth would like to attend the clinical polygraph seminar in Reading, November 2nd, with mileage and meals reimbursement, 3 credits mandated by DHS. Derek Hilton, Paula Martinez, Cody Gerner, and Kaylee Fink from LCDES would like to attend the Emergency Medical Dispatch in New Cumberland, October 29th through 31st. $1,400 total registration fee with mileage, meals, tolls reimbursement, 24 credits mandated by PEMA. Megan Ryland Tanner and Beth Hope from District Attorney's Office would like to attend the PA Chapter South Central Regional Meeting in Harrisburg, November 8th, meals reimbursement, 5 credits, mandated by Victim Witness and Victim of Crimes grants. Dawn Hooten from Probation Services would like to also attend the clinical polygraph seminar in Reading, November 2nd, 3.5 credits, mandated by JCJC. And Randy Stewart from Probation Services would like to attend the PA Problem Solving Courts and Mental Health Courts statewide conference in Harrisburg, December 10th and 11th, with meals reimbursement mandated by PBPP.
So moved.
Second?
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the mandated conference attendance. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Under requested, Robert Metley and Courtney Liller from Controller's Office would like to attend the Controller Association Fall Conference in Grantville, November 14th through the 16th, $410 registration fee with mileage and meals reimbursement.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second for the folks to attend the Controllers Conference. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So ordered.
Monica Griff from District Attorney's Office would like to attend Sentencing Guidelines and Sentencing in PA, Lancaster, November 15th with meals and parking reimbursement.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second to attend the sentencing workshop. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Gary Berna from LCDES would like to attend the 2018 Local Emergency Planning Committee Sarah Title III Summit in Carlisle, October 23rd with mileage and parking reimbursement.
So moved.
Second the motion.
I have a motion and a second for Justice Vernon to attend that workshop. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So ordered.
Jocelyn Stakem from MHIDEI would like to attend Homes Within Reach Conference in Harrisburg, October 30th, $56.25 total registration fee with mileage reimbursement.
We'll move to approve the MHIDDI request.
Second?
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve that request. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Jonathan Fitzke and Jamie George from Planning Department would like to attend the Transportation, Engineering, and Safety Conference in State College, December 5th through the 7th, $560 total registration fee with lodging, mileage, meals, parking, reimbursement.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second to attend the transportation seminar. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Dawn Policio from the Treasurer's Office would like to attend the Treasurers Association Fall Conference in State College, October 24th with mileage and meals reimbursement.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second for Dawn to attend the treasurer's workshop. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Michael Anderson and Joelle Ensign from Voter Registration would like to attend the Association of Eastern PA County Election Personnel December meeting in Gettysburg, December 6th and 7th. $140 total registration fee with lodging, mileage, meals, parking, and tools reimbursement.
So moved.
Second, but I have a question. Just, is it okay to have someone on FMLA and also attending while they're on
Yeah,
leave?
she's on an intermittent FMLA, so she's only taking maybe an hour or two a day.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I have a motion and a second for the folks in Voter to attend that workshop. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Time to open the Board of Elections, so we'll go right into Board of Elections.
Good morning, Michael Anderson, Director of Voter Registration Elections. Grab my notes here real quick. Sorry about that. Okay, I guess the first order of business would be to ask the board for approval of the notice to appear in 2 daily newspapers for the November 6, 2018 election. I have given you that public notice earlier, which would list all of our deadlines, all of the offices that will be on the ballot, all of the polling locations throughout the county. So I ask for approval for that to be published. I'm looking to publish those either October 29th or October 30th in the Lebanon Daily News, and the Humboldt Sun, I believe, is a Thursday only, so that would be November 1st.
I do have a question before a motion, if you don't mind. On the list of polling places, I noticed that we don't have the additional ones we talked about. Did we not get a ruling on whether or not we can just add them at this point?
Yeah, those are only would be, basically that is, we're looking at adding those locations for the primary of next year. That still has to go through the whole court process for approval. Basically, what we had asked for your approval the last time we for the workshop was just to start that process, have the court petition to add those 5 locations. So we're at 55 for this election. That redistricting, those additions would not happen at the earliest, would be the primary next year.
I hear about the primary, so you're saying we did get a response from our solicitor that we still have to go through the court?
Oh, yes,
We did?
yes.
Okay, I did not, that's what I was asking.
And in fact, since then, some of the proposed locations said that they won't work out, so it's still fluid.
Okay, all right, thank you for the
But yes, he
update.
did research the question of that and believes that it does have to go through it. There's been a mixture of counties doing it
Yeah.
in some ways, but his belief is it must be done that way. Whether other counties didn't do it that way is really up to
Everybody
those
I
other
talked
counties.
to have petitioned the court for their redistricting of, and or additions of voting districts. So that is what I recommended to the solicitor, and that seems the way he wanted to pursue it.
Okay,
Yes, thank you.
then I'll make a motion to approve the advertising as presented.
Second motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the request to place the advertisement, giving information about the pending election. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Michael?
Jamie, I wasn't sure if the HAVA grant had to be a commissioner's function or a board function for the intent of those funds.
Hava is commissioner.
Okay. So I didn't know.
So we're finished with
Why?
the election.
Do you mind if I just give out a couple of dates while we're still recording?
No, that's
and then-
fine.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to remind everybody that the last day to apply for a civilian absentee ballot is 5 p.m. on Tuesday, October 30th. And the last day for those ballots to be received in my office is 5 p.m. on Friday, November 2nd. And then I did want to let everybody know that at this point, I did do a rough number, and we are running way ahead in absentee ballot requests from comparative election in 2014. We had roughly about 1,000 absentee ballot requests in 2014, and we are currently at 1,359 as of today. 2 weeks. Still go.
Thank
So,
you.
All right, with that said, I will look for a motion to adjourn the Board of Elections.
Second?
I have a motion and a second to adjourn the Board of Elections. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're adjourned, and we'll resume as the Board of Commissioners.
Okay. We did receive a letter dated October 10th with from the Department of State regarding the, let me get the official name here, the 2018 HAVA Election Security Grant that would be available to improve our election system. So basically at this point, they had given us a number that would be available to Lebanon County, and with that there is a notice of intent to request those HAVA grant funds that must be signed by a member of the board that basically lets the Department of State know that we do want the funds that are made available for Lebanon County. And the amount for Lebanon County that we are entitled to is $141,491.81.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to accept those funds. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
I have a question. Somebody told me, I wasn't here all summer, somebody told me we're getting new voting machines in the county. Is that true?
Yes, the governor has issued a directive that by the end of 2019, we have to be under contract to have a new voting system,
Okay.
paper-based, verified.
And those new voting machines are different from the ones we have now.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, the new ones, when I go in to vote, will I get a receipt?
No,
Why?
because that, you cannot, by Pennsylvania law, the way it's written now, they cannot give somebody a receipt showing how that they voted, because you could technically be subject to bribery or whatever, by giving somebody that receipt showing how you voted, they could give you money for that fact. It's actually covered in the election code.
So I have no proof, I never did have proof that I voted, never. In other words, I go to the grocery store, I buy $20 worth of groceries, I get a receipt, I can prove that. But if I'm in a conversation with somebody, and I just was the other day, this man said he voted for Mrs. Clinton. I said, prove it. He said he can, and he can.
Right. Everybody's vote is private, and so if they want to share that on their own terms, they can do that, but I can't know how you voted, the board cannot know how you voted. That's all covered in the election code.
Then he asked me, I said, well, I know that I voted. He said, how can you prove it? Because I said I do write-ins. That's why I like these machines. Write-ins are very easy to do, okay? We said, who did I vote for in the last election? I said, Vladimir Putin of Russia. Why? Because the next day I can go outside the polling place, you have to display it, the vote. Right there's Putin, one vote. I voted for it. At least I know my vote was counted. This man has no idea that his vote was counted. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't seem like a very good system to me.
Do you want
Never did.
Could you just take a second and explain what the paper verified system means?
Sure. Basically, the paper verified system means that we will have the ability, and the individual will have the ability when they cast their vote, or before they cast their vote, to actually see their paper ballot that will be in front of them, and they'll verify that who they, basically how they circled in the oval is exactly how they wanted it before it ever gets counted. That is what a paper verified ballot is. That ballot actually will then be retained by us. So we will have it that and there will be some type of audit standard that will be set with these new systems for us to audit, but also that if we ever have a recount, we will have the paper ballot that then can be recounted. They still will not know how any individual votes, and that will not change unless the election code changes.
But you say they can see the paper ballot in front of them,
Absolutely. Yes,
and they
sir.
take a picture of it.
Unless the board decides that those types of actions are not allowed at the polling location with the new system. At this point, I can tell you that people do take pictures, like selfie pictures of their machines.
Okay, then that proves my point. If that person's allowed to take a picture of that, then he has the proof, correct? And the subject. Okay, we settle that. Right? He can take a picture.
Josh Shapiro had put out a memo during the last election, I recall, and he's, I think, the Attorney General, and said that it is allowed. In the past, it wasn't allowed, but now it is, so.
I know the Attorney General as well.
Well, somebody else may not know.
Okay, that, you answered my question. You answered my question.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Michael. All right, our purchasing agent and any interested parties may join him at the table. That would be Ray.
All rise.
And Tom, too. And Tom, okay.
Good morning. Good morning. Dennis Firestone, and with me is Mr. Ray Bender and Mr. Tom Harlan. We're here for the bid opening for the Clarence Shock Memorial Park development. We have 5 bids. As I put before you, it's a little different. I don't have the package to actually open. It was done pen bid. It goes from lowest to highest, as you can see. We are not asking for any award or recommendation for bid at this particular time, because the board of Clarence Shock Memorial obviously will have to go ahead and sit down and review the figures, make sure it's well within their means for what the bid ceiling was, the threshold was, and also attached to that is a breakout from each one of the bidders, which tells you what their base bid was, what it was for, and then at the bottom of this sheet, it indicates the alternates to have what the alternates would be in the event that the funds were available, so they can go ahead and do the alternates as well. I spoke with Mr. Bender a little bit, but if there's any technical questions or any questions you have about the finance or whatever, I'm sure Mr. Bender or Mr. Harlan can probably give you a better idea than I could.
I have a question.
Sure.
Could you tell me again the term you used and then explain why you don't have bids to open?
They were advertised on pen bid. Pen bid is authorized for the bidding requirements However, the requirement from the state, because the county code did not change, the county must still advertise the bid in the local newspaper, which was done.
And they had the alternate to bid in paper if they chose, no one did.
And so they simply gave you these numbers in a chart?
No, they were electronically submitted and,
Oh.
Yeah.
and are only to be opened, they were opened, they were submitted and released an hour ago, I think it was.
Yeah, the pen,
9 a.m.
The pen bid simply is an online bidding system. Everything is done online, and it goes to the pen bid, but all the documents are available online, which is explained in the advertisement when it's put out for pen bid. They can simply click on, get all the documents off, like what the parameters of the construction project is. And again, in the same respect, we put it in the local newspaper, and we told them the procedures to follow to get a copy of the bid documents. And also, if they didn't want to submit through pen bid, they had the option of dropping it off at the commissioner's office, like we always do on any other bid. We had it by 9 o'clock today. It could have been dropped off, so it could have been opened. That particular bid, had someone dropped it off, would have been opened at this meeting, and it would have been put in place in the sequence of these other.
Thanks for the explanation. This is new to me.
It's the first time we've done it since I've been here. It's the way most people are going because of I think it's more of a secure way, it's a faster way, but also it does not eliminate the people that don't have the computers, who don't have the capability of doing it online. So they still have the option to go ahead and submit the paper bid like they have in the past.
My question, follow-up, if I may, is it the state that operates pen bid, or who operates it?
It's not the state that operates, I don't believe. I can't tell you for sure, maybe you know better, Ray, or...
PennDOT went to all electronic bidding about 10 years ago.
And they use the pen bid system?
Yes, and they opened that system to the municipalities perhaps 4 years ago. But as Dennis says, most municipalities are just getting into it now. And you still have the requirement to advertise and to make paper available for those that choose not to do the electronic.
Wilson Consulting does this often with a lot of their projects and clients now. So when Nate McCullough from Wilson said we could do it this way with research, with the solicitor, the only remaining question was for Dennis was, did we need to still advertise in the paper? Solicitor said yes, we must. Would have been a cost savings, not new, but we still must. So
the problem is if you don't advertise in the newspaper, it takes away, and like Ray and I were talking about earlier, it does eliminate quite a few people that don't have the capability of doing online bidding. This way, they're still afforded the opportunity to submit paper documents if they like to do so.
Well, I guess, because it is new, I just want to understand it. Sometimes we get right-to-know requests, and they want copies of documents. Now, do we still have to keep them, or do we refer them to pen bid, or how would that work?
Well, I'm making, that I can't answer, but I can tell you that anything, all the documents that were on the pen bid, I have.
So you do print them out?
So I keep hard copies in the document.
Okay.
I do have a hard copy of all those documents. They're all in this file right here.
Okay.
pen bid's just the vehicle for submittal of bids. We still get everything just like that.
Yeah, I think we're still the responsible entity to go ahead and maintain the hard paper documents.
So if there were right to know, as you
Would still come through us
Yeah.
then?
we'd still have the documents.
Okay, I just wanted to understand, so thank you.
Okay, any questions from you two? Anybody else on the board?
Jamie?
Your available funds versus the bids, and how are you viewing
We're
that?
short. The lowest base bid is higher than the engineer's estimate, which itself was higher than the original cost estimate and budget. So we've already started dialogue with the engineer as to what might be able to be cut to get us down to the base bid, and we'll have to be looking for alternative funding, because I suspect we're going to need something to fill the gap, and the state's not going to come through with it. Their grant was based upon the original cost estimate. They'd have to re-rank every application to give us any more money, so that won't happen.
And your numbers are what, Ray? Your cost estimate versus 368's the bid, were you at 350?
And these are really back of the envelope numbers at this point on my part. But I would say we have presently available about 335. that we have to look for either cuts or additional funding to get us to the 368.5 base bid. The alternates, I think, are out of the picture at this point. They're just too much higher. Fortunately, the alternates of all items that we picked that can be added later. It's the trusses and the roofs for over the waiting areas and the electric to the restroom. The electric, our own maintenance man could probably do, particularly given the little bit for the electric was like 21,000 extra. Well, that's an awful lot of money to want one circuit to a restroom.
How does Psycho feel about the project? Is there any chance of one-time allocation would be asked for to help
Well,
out?
we had hoped to come back to the commissioners at one of your November meetings for award and the work to happen over the winter. So we've got to move fairly quickly to see what resources are available. Are there changes or cuts that we can make by change order to a little bit or to get us down a bit? We probably can't do anything big because it would have to go back to DCNR. The big cost item is the restroom. And I think the low bidder was like $90,000 on that or something. They just spoke on it. The low bidder was $65,800 on that. But to cut $65,000 out, we'd have to go back to DCNR and get their approval. And I'd hate to lose that element of the project anyway. But there may be some other things that the engineers can come up with.
Yeah, if you can squeeze it down, maybe there's, you could think.
Get a
applying to-
smaller gap and give the
apply for
parking
tourism.
additional money.
I mean, with the impact that has on the county, for drawing from outside the county.
If the county could find any money, we might be able to go back to the shop foundation. We really run by Fulton Bank now, but we do get funds from them each year, 15,000 of which is discretionary. And we may be able to pick up some of that 19 money. Yeah, we have really at this point, they're fresh numbers as of an hour ago. We really have to look at them hard and then get with the engineer and get back to the county.
I'm sure the two of you can come up with alternatives that'll work.
Share your confidence.
Did you say shed or share?
I said share.
All right, any other questions? And what action do we need to take this?
No,
At this point, no, we just come back a later date for official award based off of these two gentlemen come up with.
Thank you for bringing the information to the board, and certainly keep us in the loop. There, as Commissioner Phillips alluded, there may be some other possibilities for us doing something here, so we can talk about that.
Really
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
what you do out at Governor Dale as volunteers. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
We'll stay in touch, Dennis. Thank you.
Take care, Tom. We'll see you again.
Good morning.
Morning, Commissioners. Morning.
The police department.
You want to just introduce yourself and then proceed?
Sure. I'm Lee Bardell. I work for EDC Finance Company in Lancaster County. And what I need to do today is present to you a next generation farm loan program project for a young couple named Kirby and Krista Martin. And they're planning to purchase an 85-acre family farm from the estate of David Martin. And David Martin is Kirby's grandfather. The couple had an agreement several years ago to purchase a farm on David's death. He is deceased, passed away about a year or so ago, so they're exercising that option. And the farm that they're purchasing is located at 20 Kreider Road in Jackson Township in Myerstown. It's mainly a cash crop, corn, soybeans, and barley, and they also raise steers on the farm. They are going to participate in the Next Generation Farm Loan Program for the maximum amount of $534,000. And the bank that they're working with, Everett National Bank, is going to lend them the remaining funds. The total purchase of the farm is going to be $800,000.
Could you say that again? How much?
$800,000 for the farm purchase.
Thank you.
So this requires approval by the by the board.
Right,
Board.
right, yes. County approval.
But does not obligate the county in any way.
It does not obligate the county in any way. Right, this is a tax-free lending program for the next generation in farming families, and the interest rate is generally reduced about 20%. So they get a reduced rate, fixed rate on purchasing a farm.
And I think, didn't they open a branch of Ephrata Bank down in Myerstown area?
I believe they did, yeah.
And so that leads to my question as to, you're coming here, and so it would be a Lebanon County.
It is a Lebanon County deal.
Okay.
And the reason we got wrapped into it from Lancaster County is because we do a lot of these. We've done 15 of these loan requests this year. A lot of the surrounding counties aren't really familiar with the Next Generation Farmer Loan Program. And we take a few steps further and we present the applications to the state. We take care of the advertising in the local newspapers, and we do a lot more work than other counties I've heard are doing. And we got wrapped into this because we've worked with this banker before from Ephrata National Bank. And Krista Martin's father is an Ephrata native, and he is in the ag business in Ephrata, and that's how he works with the banker from Ephrata National Bank in the ag division.
Okay, so this is no negative reflection on Lebanon County because we have handled farm loans.
Absolutely, that is correct. It's no negative reflection. It's just that we've worked with this banker. We've worked with the father, so they know the program through us. Yep.
And so did you also talk to our EDC who normally handles it for us, or?
I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know if the banker did. I know that we in our office did not.
Just as a courtesy, it would seem like it would be appropriate.
Right, and we can certainly reach out to them, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, that would be nice, I think, to make sure that they're understanding that they're not being criticized.
Right, yep.
Okay.
We can do that.
All right. Well, then I'll make a motion to proceed.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the second generation bank loan, just as a requirement that the county approves it. Any other questions or comments? Yes. Martin?
Says, next generation farm loan request. What's the difference between the next generation and the previous generation? There's that catchphrase. You can't answer.
I'm not sure I can answer that question. It's just the next generation of the family.
Is this the first time you've come into Lebanon County?
Yes.
Right, because I believe you service Lancaster, York, and Cumberland. Maybe Cumberland, I'm not sure of Cumberland.
Adam, we service our normal loan programs, our PETA and SBA loan programs. We work with York, Adams, and Cumberland County. Yes.
On this loan, you're gonna loan this couple $500,000. Now, what you are, in essence, is nothing more than a money store. You sell money.
We are not the lender.
Or you're not. Ephrata is.
Ephrata National Bank is the lender.
Okay, and you're what? Middleman.
We facilitate the program for the borrowers. They need to have, an applicant needs to send the application to the state, to the Commonwealth, and we are the facilitators for that loan application.
And you would, a finder's fee, you gotta get something out of it.
Yeah, we do get a fee for it, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, when this is done, the bank, okay, they give them a loan.
Mm-hmm.
Couple starts paying the money back,
Mm-hmm.
paying the principal and the interest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the interest is made by the bank. Does the bank pay taxes on that interest?
It's a tax-free loan.
A tax-free loan?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's the way the state has set up the program. I don't know why they decide, I don't know.
Okay, quick scenario. You have a man, say, Chester County,
Okay.
and he wants to go in business, and he needs $500,000, right? And he goes to, but he has poor credit rating, very poor. But he came on this scheme, and he knows he can make a lot of money. So he hears of a man who lends money. He goes to him. They talk with the guy, says, I'll loan you the $500,000, okay? He goes in business, and starts very successful. He starts paying back, okay? The man who loaned him the money He gets his principal, plus he gets the interest, that's his profit, right? He has to pay tax on that money, right? On that interest, he has to pay tax on it.
Yes.
Well, I don't get it, I never have gotten it, because he's doing the same thing for the bank's doing. They don't pay the tax, he has to pay the tax. Why?
Well, this program is to help young farmers.
I don't want to help anybody. I'm over that, I'm an old man.
It's a legislative.
You see what I'm saying?
She's not.
Yes.
To me, it's not fair.
Well, Martin,
I can answer
Huh?
that question for you.
she can't fix that.
Who can? Who can answer my question?
It's a legislative.
It's a legislative
She
thing.
It's shysterism from the top down. All it is legalized laundering of money. That's all it is. Thank you for your answer.
You're welcome.
Susan, did you want to comment?
Yeah, I did. I'm a little surprised by this because I'm the president of the Lebanon Valley Economic Development Corporation, and we have the first generation program. And in the past, if Lancaster County or Adams County or any county surrounding us wanted to do a loan in our county, we said absolutely not. And I know in the past when it was brought to the commissioners, they said they would prefer that their loans stay in the county as well. So I'm just really shocked that Lancaster would come into Lebanon without even approaching the EDC and do a loan like this.
Well, the loan is going to stay in the county.
That's correct, but we're also the area loan organization.
Right,
for the
right, and
county.
I can't answer that question for you. I don't know why the banker didn't reach out to you. I don't know why the organizer in our office didn't reach out to you.
Yeah, usually the organizer and the economic offices reach out to their counterparts and let them know what's happening, and we always say absolutely not, we'll do our deals in Lebanon County. So I'm just really
And we will
surprised.
I will certainly make sure that, you know, in the future, if we get anything and request that we make sure we run it through you, and I'm not sure why they didn't. I wasn't the one who facilitated this up front.
Yeah, well, generally
and
because
managed it,
it's,
yes.
generally because it's a fee, and they'll,
Right,
Lancaster will
sure.
be earning a nice sizable fee on the Lebanon
Sure.
County project.
Yes, understood. Yes, thank you.
Okay, with all that having been said, obviously we weren't privy to, you know, that whole scenario. So we have this before us and we have a motion and a second. So we need to vote on the motion. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
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 I with reservations, because again, that's why I asked the questions that I asked. I was uncomfortable knowing that we have a local company
Sure, sure, I understand.
representative.
Absolutely.
So,
All right, those opposed? All right, the motion carries.
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, economic development. Want to come forward to? Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, how are you?
Good. You want to introduce yourselves and then you
Susan.
can proceed.
Susan Everly with the Lebanon Valley Economic Development, and I brought my assistant along, Kathy Cole, so she can see how these procedures go.
Okay, well, we'll try to be on our good behavior, Kathy, so you can get a good impression. of
I like that you
the
color
board.
coordinated when you came.
Yeah, that was nice of us, wasn't
Yeah. Very pleasant.
All right, this morning I'm coming to you with a request for LERTA for a project that I'm working on. I'm working currently with two companies. One of the companies is located in Wisconsin, and they were started in 1983. And they are a manufacturing company, and both companies are into architectural design. Company number two is a leading supplier of design fabrication for storefronts and entrances, and they started in 1945 and they're headquartered in Michigan. Both companies are exploring the opportunity to expand in the northeast area, and Lebanon Valley Business Park was selected as one of their chosen sites. The Company number one will be building a 500,000 square foot facility for production and office space, and company number two will be building a 250,000 square foot manufacturing facility. The capital investment for both projects total over 70,000. Job creation.
70 million?
70 million, yeah, sorry, I'm on a roll. 70 million. The job creation will be 285 new employees, and that number is projected to go higher. So I'm coming today to ask for the LERTA in right now in the field. The way the economy is, I mean, the economy is picking up, but a lot of companies are still looking for counties to be proactive and requesting LERTAs for the project. And this project, that's one of their conditions, that we can help them with the tax incentive. Very good companies. I'll be pleased when we can announce them if they're doing their due diligence now, and hopefully this will help cinch the deal for Lebanon County.
Is the structure 10 years?
We would request a 10-year declining 10% each year.
And we traditionally write in that they can't appeal during the period. That will be in the contract.
And Susan, have you approached the municipality or the school district at this point?
Both of them. I'm on the township's schedule for next Tuesday. I approached the school, and they behind the scenes, I love them, yes, they did. So
They voted on it?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So they just need to get a few things in place first.
Yes.
I have a question. 10-year. Can you tell me the first year, what % tax they pay?
It's, they continue to pay the tax, what is already established now. So right now it's vacant land. So they would continue paying on the vacant land, and then the rates 100% declining down to 0%, 10% deduction each year.
So the first year, the improvements to the land is 100% abated. Second year, 90%. Third year's 80%, so on.
But they pay what they're paying now all the time before it's developed.
Well, I think we need clarification on that. Is this land presently in clean and green?
Yeah, and the tax.
They would not pay on the clean and green rate.
We
because-
will be paying all the rollback taxes
Right.
at the point of the sale.
Right.
Everything-
And they would be paying at the full tax rate, not the clean and green rate.
Full market value, right?
Yeah.
And you said South Lebanon isn't, they're on board, but they have to still take a formal vote.
Most, they have to take a formal vote.
So they do pay off the clean and green.
Well, our corporation will pay off the clean.
Who will? You're,
The Lebanon Valley Economic.
you actually pay that for them to get them in here.
Our
It's
roll-
not for them, it's a tax that they owe at
We,
this point.
we were able to do the clean and green on the property because currently it's being farmed, so it's underutilized. And once we sell it, if it doesn't remain farming, it has to, all those rollback taxes going back 7 years will have to be brought current.
Did you see how many acres are involved?
64 acres for company one and 12.9 acres for company two.
Thank you.
I think what maybe wasn't stated is that the Economic Development Corporation owns the land. So the rollback on the clean and
Well,
green
they actually
is
own the
their,
land.
right, is their responsibility. It's in the business park out.
I was wondering why they were gonna pay
Right,
them.
that's
Yeah,
why.
sorry, Mark. Yeah,
See what I'm
it's in
saying?
yeah, it's in the Lebanon Valley Business Park on State Drive.
Names.
Sir.
I've been here for a lot of lords. Historically, you rail against them. You don't like them. But then you always vote for them. Now, you haven't voted yet. So it's interesting to see which way you're going here.
We don't even have a motion on the floor.
No, but I'm saying, I've been here for a lot of meetings.
Allow me to move forward and we'll.
Yeah, and then after that, but then you and I are arguing about it. But before we go on,
Don't be.
Lourdes, show you something. You know what that is? Before I was here, I went up down the hall and paid the last installment on my property taxes. Whoops,
I know, I did too.
and here we go. I'm an old man, and I'm tired. I'm tired of it. They come in here, get a tax abatement. I can't get a tax abatement. I can't get on farm preservation. I can't get on clean and green. I can't get on nothing. I have to pay my taxes on time and in full. And if I don't pay them, they put a sign in my house, he does, they're gonna take my property.
Well, they're looking at it a little bit differently because it's a business which will be investing $70 million into the community and creating almost 300 jobs. That's why.
That means nothing to me as an old man. My time's done.
Yeah.
My time's done. The next step I have, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna put me in a warehouse, but they call them nursing homes, and they're gonna steal my money. That's what they're gonna do. I just put my mother in one, 96 years old. They took all her money just like that. But I gotta sit here and we get free taxes.
Thanks.
I don't get it.
Thank you, Martin.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. Martin will have his say someday. Go
All
over
right,
there with me. This will be interesting.
We need a motion.
Also move to approve it, and it's a $70 million investment in Lebanon County. I'd like to do everything we can to get it.
Second the motion.
I have a motion and a second, and Martin expects me to speak to the motion, so I will do that briefly. I do not necessarily rail against every LERTA. I have had some issues with the LERTAs for the big box warehouses, which are actually rental properties, if you will, and in this case, it's a permanent investment by a company building their own facility where they will do manufacturing and create a number of jobs. So if I'm going to support a LERTA, this is the kind of LERTA that I will support. So I feel very comfortable with this one. And any other comments before we call for the vote? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the LERTA as presented by the Lebanon Valley Economic Development Corporation indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
First, I have some grant requests related to the Hotel Tax Tourism Fund that you maintain and entertain requests from that fund from time to time. I have two before you that have submitted requests, first being the Lebanon Rotary Club Foundation, who would like some grant assistance with their Bologna Fest and Winter Carnival, which is, I believe, takes place in January at the Expo Center. Their total project cost for their marketing and promotional advertising budget is $40,000, and they're requesting a $5,000 grant to assist with that. They believe the event has the potential to attract more visitors, including overnight guests who would come to visit family and attend the event. They're seeking the funds for marketing and promotional advertising such as radio, billboard, print, and online advertising.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve that $5,000 grant from the Hotel Tax Fund. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
And the second request is from the Community of Lebanon Association. They are once again intending to hold their Holiday Lights project at Coleman Park, and they are requesting $25,000 grant toward the operation of that for this year. They last year had 3,600 cars going through the display, resulting in 14,000 views, and we're going to do it again this year. They're increasing their advertising to 5 major billboards along major roadways, and actually getting that at less than the cost of their 3 billboards last year. And they are going to increase their radio and newspaper presence as well as social media. And they anticipate giving out coupons for Domino's pizza boxes through, and also edible arrangement coupons.
I'll make a motion to approve the $25,000 request from the CLA.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second for the $25,000 request in support of the holiday lights. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
If you want to look, I can go into the request for the Affordable Housing Fund.
That's fine.
Had yesterday. So yesterday afternoon, you saw a presentation, some of those individuals are here, a presentation from the Housing Development Corporation of Lancaster to seek funding from the Affordable Housing Fund to construct housing, workforce and low-income housing at Beach Run Apartments in Bethel Township, and they are asking for a renewed commitment. We did the same last year for a $500,000 commitment, which is ultimately a soft loan from the Act 137 Affordable Housing Fund. And I guess if there are any more specific questions, they're here if you'd like to answer any further questions since yesterday.
And I'm not sure, are you from Bethel Township by chance?
No.
No, okay, I just didn't know if maybe somebody came from Bethel that wanted to speak, okay.
So essentially, it's the same request as you approved last year. They're renewing that request. The Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency did not grant the tax credits for the project last year, so they're going to make another attempt at it this November. Your application is due, is that right? November 16th.
Okay. Any other questions for clarification? If not,
Let's get a motion.
Let's get a motion on the floor, okay.
All right, well, I will make a motion to proceed.
All right, we need a second for the motion if you're going to speak to the motion.
Okay, sure.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second now.
Yeah. I think that you're a good company, and I like that you have local builders involved. I'm sad that Bethel hasn't provided any comment at this point, but on the other hand, I also know that you're going to address that, and you're going into this with your eyes wide open. And I feel my due diligence has been done in making you aware that the township has these concerns, and maybe they've changed, I don't know, but I've not heard that, and that's what I was looking for. It's a good project. The egress is what needs to be addressed, and like I say, you're going into it eyes wide open, you want to proceed, so you'll have to address the township, and done everything I can do to make sure that you know that.
Thank you.
All right, I would just, before we vote on the motion, I would just say that I want to make it clear that what we're doing here today as a board, if we approve this, is to approve the funds from the Affordable Housing funds to allow this process to move forward. That in no way should be construed as this Board of Commissioners dictating or citing to the Bethel Township supervisors that they need to do this project. That's entirely up to the folks in Bethel Township, their zoning board, and the township supervisors themselves to approve the project going forward. So I don't, and I hopefully, if any of them reach out to me, I would make that very clear that this is not in any way an approval from this board that they should do this project. So with that said, any other comments?
Well, then I'll piggyback on that to fill in a blank that this is a $14 million project, an investment in Bethel Township that you're pursuing. If you don't get the support from us at this level, it doesn't allow them to choose whether they can have this project or not in their township. So we're enabling them to be in a position to accept it or, to deal with it once it would be approved. So that's my feeling, is that we should not be in a position to deny them that opportunity should they want to have additional housing. I think it's 61 units.
51.
51, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Where's this project at?
Bethel.
Where at?
Center,
Where? North Center?
North Center Street.
Yes.
So just north of town.
Yes, that's correct.
Sort of you go from 22 north on Center, cross over Main, just north of that. Is that correct?
Okay, any other?
Wait a minute, it's in the general vicinity of College Hill Poultry.
The entrance, the egress would be across from the old First National Bank, if I remember, or Fredericksburg National Bank, whatever it was called.
Yeah, I think it would be, I think College Hill's at the west end, isn't it?
I can't hear you.
I think College Hill's at their west end. This would be just sort of straight north from the red line.
Yeah.
Okay. With that said, we have a motion on the floor to approve the dispersing those funds should this project be approved. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's yours.
Okay. Hello again.
Good morning again.
Ray was just here.
I knew he was on your earlier agenda, yes.
Jeff getting a haircut or what?
No.
But actually, I was thinking about his hair. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning.
We won't share Commissioner Phil's comment with you. Keep that a little secret.
On the drive
You'll
back.
you'll have to get it from Betsy.
It was 7 o'clock.
Actually, I didn't record it, but the county did.
Well, good morning, and if you'd like to introduce yourselves for those present, move forward.
Betsy Bowman, Executive Director of the Redevelopment Board.
Dan Lyons, also with the Redevelopment Authority.
So, we're here for some annual business. This time of year, we come to the commissioners with the county's community development block grant application. That is an entitlement application to the county. This year was good news for us because we had about a 15% increase in funds. If you remember, CDBG has been one of those programs that's been under attack. So we felt that this was a win for everybody with the increased funding. And as has been the case in the past few years, we are continuing the practice of funding public service activities. We're getting a demand for that from agencies. And then we are also concentrating some efforts in Myerstown Borough because that is the only low-income census tract outside the city of Lebanon. So with that, I think Dan can go into some of the details.
Thank you, Commissioners. Today we have our typical annual CDBG business, which we bring to you at the end of our annual cycle. So the state announces to us what the CDBG allocation will be for Lebanon County. And then we begin a citizen participation process where we hold a public hearing to get input from the public. And then we solicit project ideas from the eligible municipalities, public service agencies. Once we receive the applications, we review them and vet them and then make our recommendations to you, which we did on September 19th. And after that, we hold a second public hearing to give the public another chance to comment. Now that we've identified what we'd like to do with the money, give them a chance to comment. So that process is over. We held our second public hearing on Tuesday, and there was no public objection to the proposed activities.
And now we bring to you today 3 resolutions. One that approves the submission of the application to the state and gives Commissioner Ames permission to sign all the signature pages that go into the application. Another that is the fair housing resolution, and that is an annual resolution that sort of reaffirms the county's commitment to fair housing and instructs us to conduct an activity to further the goals of fair housing. This year, we met our fair housing obligation by attending the Hurricane Maria Resource Fair earlier in the year. We had a booth there where we met with people attending the resource fair and gave them information about the housing programs primarily. And then the final resolution is a resolution reauthorizing the procedural plans and documents for the CDBG program. Now, these are plans that were drafted in years past, and every year we ask you just to reaffirm your commitment to those plans and that there are no changes to those plans. So that's what I have for you. It's 3 resolutions, and then I do have a group of signature pages that I'll leave behind to be signed that will go into the application.
Okay, we just take these one at a time then, if you would just state the motion for us.
Sure. The first resolution is approving the Lebanon County Block Grant Program for federal fiscal year 2018, including the Township of South Lebanon's Block Grant Program.
Also moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the block grant program. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Thank you. The second resolution is recertifying procedural documents for use in the administration of the Community Development Block Grant Program.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
And the final resolution is the fair housing resolution.
I'll move to approve the fair housing resolution.
I'll second the motion.
All right, a motion and a second to approve the fair housing resolution. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
I do have one question. Can you clarify for me on this sheet? The 2 of the 3 are approved. Now, the one in the middle is zeroed out. And they needed some more information, a study or something. Are they working on that or no?
If as approved, we will reach out to the borough to make them aware of the award.
Okay.
And you are correct that 2 of the 3 activities they submitted are sort of automatically qualified on the basis of that census block group data. And that third one, the one in the middle, does not qualify on that data. And they would have to conduct an income survey of the affected households. And there wasn't time from when they submitted the request for the project to when the application has to be prepared to conduct that survey. So we'll make them aware of that, and I suspect they'll seek to conduct that income survey in the coming year and probably come back in with that project next year.
I was going to say, the only question I have there is, doesn't the census provide that information?
The census provides information about income. It does, and Myerstown does have a block group that is designated by census data as low and moderate income. The 2 projects that qualify on that data serve the entire block group. That project, the Center Avenue project, we can't justify it on the basis of the block group data because we can't make the argument that it serves everybody in that block group. So it'll actually be a smaller area. It'll be, the properties on either side of Center Avenue and probably, extending a little ways away from there. And it's a much smaller area than the block group, so it can't use that data.
I get it now. Thank you so much. I wasn't sure why that couldn't be used, but now you've explained it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
You had some other things that you're just gonna hold off for later.
That's okay.
Today's section, what was it?
The,
I mean, I've seen it, I just want to make sure they know what we're skipping over.
We're looking into the county's section 504 plan. We don't need any action from you at this time, but we may be back at a later date. It's just to give you a little bit of information. No action today, like I said, but it is a statute that prevents discrimination on the basis of disability. And the county in the past has done self-evaluations to make sure that your facilities are handicap accessible and that your programs are available to people with disabilities as they are to people without. And the state is, just basically asking their grantees to take another look at those plans and see if anything needs to be changed. So we don't have anything for you today, but we may be back in the future to take a look at that.
I do have one final question, if I may. Do you have any money available right now to help people, like for instance with ramps, if they're handicapped and they don't have the funding to do that?
Yes, that is the money that is coming also from the Affordable Housing Trust Fund for the Access Program. So that we have a very active access program for people with ramps, bathroom modifications, grab doors, things of that nature. So yes, there is funding for that.
Okay, and does the person who has the need have to be the owner of the property? So if it's a relative that owns the house and is trying to care for that person, they would qualify if the income is there?
And the relative, they're living in the relative's property, is that what you're saying? We would look at household income to determine.
So if that
eligibility.
is like under 58,000 or whatever it is,
Right,
and
correct.
then they
so
would qualify.
It can even be in rental properties as long as the applicant is eligible.
All right, had an inquiry. I wanted to make sure I didn't give out bad information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, would you mind if I went back to the HDC, your approval on the housing fund for a second? Based on the comments that were made, they do the letter, you do the award letter actually to them, coming out of Act 137.
Actually, we've been doing it.
Oh, have I been doing
You have been.
Okay.
So soon we forget.
I was going to suggest that in that award letter, it could be mentioned specifically that this does not obligate the township to anything.
So when you do that letter, Jamie, would you please
Yes, when I
include
do the
that?
letter, I'll include that. I just wanted to offer that
Thank you.
No.
specify that in there so that if there is a question,
That's
then
very good.
Yeah, because we both had comments about that.
That's okay.
And the
Yes.
the properties that are being considered for the city's land grant, are you going to circulate that information to us then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for you to look at, yeah.
And if you have any questions when you look at those properties, just get in touch with us and we'll give you some more information.
Okay. Thank you. The one, you said there's one
Yes.
that's being presently, folks are living in it.
That's correct.
Are we reaching out to those folks with, or should someone be?
I think that, and I'll ask Sally, I think that Belinda has had some conversations with the owner of that 14th Street property.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yes, there has been some back and forth.
And we have made that, the guide?
Yeah, my understanding is that they're too far gone at this point with the information that guide would be beneficial.
Okay. Yeah. That breaks my heart, but,
Yes. Hopefully the guide will help people 18 months from now, or even maybe 12 months from now. Or that was just, maybe had already been too deep into the process.
okay.
Just in defense of Jamie, I think you're thinking of a time when Ray used to do those letters. Those are courtesy.
Did Ray do
That's just-
It's just another plate I'm trying to keep.
We're just trying to, Commissioner Phillips trying to cover for our
Okay.
county administrator.
Okay, thank you for your time.
All right.
Thank you,
folks.
Commissioner.
Yeah, have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Unaware.
There he is.
We've got some advisory council appointments as well for his advisory council while he's here. So.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now, he has a haircut. You just got one, didn't you?
It's moosed down,
Okay.
so I'm not sure. It's not really cut.
He didn't get it cut, it fell out.
No, he's got long hair.
Turn around and show the camera.
We were on it. There's been a lot of hair comments today. What can I say?
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
My name is Jim Dunware. I'm the Executive Director of Lebanon County Commission on Drug and Alcohol Abuse. And along with me today, I have Josh Mounts, who is a prevention specialist for CompassMark. We're here to talk to the commissioners about the Red Ribbon Week. Red Ribbon, the Red Ribbon campaign started back in 1985. It's a nationwide campaign. The goal of Red Ribbon Week is to increase the awareness of the problems caused by alcohol and drug abuse. The Red Ribbon Week has come to symbolize a person's individual commitment to living an alcohol and drug-free lifestyle. This year, the theme of the campaign is Life is a Journey, Travel Drug-Free. With this theme, we're promoting an overall healthy lifestyle where children and parents remain active and drug-free. This year, the reason I brought Josh along, he is our CompassMark prevention specialist. He does the extensive work in the school districts. We are in every school district in Lebanon County, with the exception of one, I believe. Catholic or? Correct. Correct. So we're in every school district with the exception of Lebanon Catholic. Josh and his staff go into the schools. They not only do this campaign for our office, but they also provide education awareness to the students that attend those school districts. This year, with this campaign specifically, we handed out 11,000 red ribbons to the school districts in Lebanon County. And also, CompassMark provides presentations at the school district's request for this. So we come before you today, the Lebanon County Commissioners, to ask that you declare October 23rd through October 31st as Red Ribbon Week 2018 in Lebanon County.
Do we have a proclamation?
I have a brief proclamation. Whereas the Lebanon County Commissioners are committed to promoting a drug-free lifestyle in Lebanon County, and whereas the Lebanon County Commission on Drug and Alcohol Abuse is distributing red ribbons to schools, churches, and businesses in Lebanon County as a symbol of each person's personal commitment to a drug-free lifestyle. Now therefore, we, the Commissioners of Lebanon County, do hereby proclaim the week of October 23rd through the 31st, 2018 as Red Ribbon Week in Lebanon County, and we further encourage all our citizens to unite in helping Lebanon County become a drug-free community.
Do I have a motion to adopt the proclamation?
So moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the proclamation establishing Red Ribbon Week. All those in favor of the proclamation as read indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? So ordered.
Thank you. We brought these along for,
Okay.
that's the actual ribbon that is provided to the children.
All right. Before you go real quickly, we do have some recommendations from the Commission on Drug and Alcohol to appoint to the commission Lynn Appleby. Ms. Appleby's background includes experience in nursing and social work. She resides in Lebanon County and will fill a vacancy in the optional category with a term ending February 19, 2020. And then be eligible for reappointment to a 3-year term, so choose.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve Ms. Appleby as a member of the board. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Do I
Dave.
get a copy of that, or will I get a copy?
Yeah, do so.
Okay, thanks.
When Jamie writes it, he gets it in.
Thank you.
And you have MPO policy board meeting coming up at 11:30.
Are we done already?
I don't have anything further.
Okay. All right. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
And Ange, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going home and drink a couple beers.
Good for you.